Hi guys, Sci-Fi Recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain a British science fiction and fantasy movie, called Absolutely Anything. The film begins with the launch of a space probe that carries an inscription about the human race along with a map to Earth. The purpose is for the extraterrestrials so they can find humans on Earth using the map. The event is broadcasted on TV and strangely there is a dog watching it. The scene moves showing a man named Neil Clark. He is being interviewed by the host at an award show for his best-selling novel. At first everything goes smoothly, but just as he is about to start his speech, suddenly a dog barks at him which causes the other dogs to bark and also stomp on him straight away. Luckily, it was just a dream. Meanwhile, his dog, Dennis, keeps on barking until his neighbor, Fiona, gets mad at him. Because of this, Neil immediately takes his dog out. He then meets with another neighbor, named Catherine West. Turns out she is the woman who became the host in Neil's dream earlier. He also tells the rest of his dream and actually Neil has a crush on her for a long time, but he is too embarrassed to tell her in person. Later, he meets Ray at school to borrow some money. It is revealed that they are teachers at the school. In the meantime, the space probe is found by the Alien Galactic Council. They are debating whether to destroy the Earth or make humanity a member of the Council. As a test, they will give a random human with limitless power, which is the ability to do absolutely anything. If the human uses the powers for good, then humanity will become a member of the Council. But as a consequence, if the powers are used by the human for evil things, the Earth will soon be destroyed. The grace period given by the aliens is 10 days. From the results of the meeting, the chosen human is Neil, who is riding a bicycle at that time. Right after he falls off his bicycle, he acquires the powers unaware. Arriving at the school, he meets with Headmaster Robinson, who reprimands him for being late too often. He then comes to the class where he sees the students are having fun without the teacher. Since he does not want to disturb them, he decides to read the newspaper outside of class. During break time, he is having lunch with Ray at the cafeteria. Oblivious to his new power, Neil wishes for aliens to destroy the classroom of students hated by him. Surely, the alien spaceship immediately kills everyone in that classroom. Long story short, he returns home while he still cannot believe what happened before. Funnily enough, he orders Dennis's poop to clean itself, and of course it happens strangely. Feeling confused, he chooses to drink a bottle of whiskey because he thinks that he was hallucinating. Unfortunately, he spills his whiskey bottle. Therefore, he wants the whiskey back in the bottle while moving his hands at the same time, and it works. Now he realizes that he can do anything by moving his hand. Furthermore, he wants his dirty whiskey to be replaced with a new whiskey that is in the shop, but it does not live up to his expectations. The bottle moves on its own to a nearby shop and breaks the shop's entrance glass. As a result, he is almost caught by the police, but luckily he manages to escape in the end. Back at his house, Neil suddenly remembers the previous incident in the classroom. To fix the deaths of his students, he wishes that everyone who died come back to life. After a while, all the dead people rise as zombies and approach his house. Frantically, he reverses this and asks that the explosion never happened, which reverses all his previous wishes. He finally returns to the time when he is having lunch with Ray in the cafeteria. After that, Neil returns to the class to check on his students who are still having fun inside. He then wishes that all his students can be diligent students. His wish is immediately granted and the classroom becomes quiet as the students are excited to learn. Later, he sees Headmaster Robinson from afar. He instantaneously moves his hand to make the headmaster be nice to him, and then he is suddenly praised by the headmaster as he walks past him. In the staff's room, Neil unintentionally sees Ray trying to get close to Miss Pringle, another teacher in the school. He then wishes for her to worship Ray, who is too shy to tell Pringle that he has liked her long ago. When he gets home, he wants weird things, starting from having the body of Albert Einstein, then having an athletic body, and also he wants Catherine to be in his house. The following day, he tells Ray about it and shows some of his powers, such as animating a skeleton, growing flowers in the room instantly, making the world's tastiest sandwiches, and always winning horse races. Because of that, Neil's powers absolutely confuse Ray, leaving him speechless. One night, the alien spaceship suddenly malfunctions. In order to fix it, they have to take back the power that has been given to Neil for a while. Therefore, the galactic power fails to make Catherine fall in love with Neil. However, Catherine coincidentally knocks at his door. After that, they spend the night together and are seen by Catherine's stalker ex-boyfriend, Colonel Grant. The next morning, the superpowers are returned to Neil. He wakes up and smiles as he remembers what happened last night. He also wishes the weather outside to be like Los Angeles and tells his clothes to get dressed automatically. When he is having breakfast, he wants his dog to be able to talk like a rational human being. Not long after, Catherine overhears his conversation with Dennis, shouting that he loves Neil. Thus, she thinks that Neil has a gay boyfriend and immediately leaves him behind. As Neil chases after her, he runs into a panicked Ray. He says that Miss Pringle does not love him romantically, instead she worships him as a god. Since he is in a hurry, he decides to turn Ray into a sausage. He takes the sausage to the bakery where Catherine is. He then tries to explain everything to her, but Catherine still cannot believe him. Finally, Neil turns Ray back into his original form. On the other side, the aliens do not like what Neil has been doing all this time because he has not done anything useful with the superpowers. Arriving at her apartment, Catherine is very surprised to see Grant, who was somehow already at her house. She then locks him inside. Therefore, Neil, who sees the incident, immediately invites her to hide in his room. Shortly after, Grant successfully breaks inside through the window and directly points his gun at Neil, but Neil does not seem afraid of him. Using his power, he breaks Grant's arm and then fixes it, revealing his ability to grant wishes whenever he says a wish and makes a hand gesture. On the other hand, Catherine chooses to leave the two of them fighting. When Neil is off guard, Grant manages to kidnap him, tying his hand and gagging him to prevent his escape. He also forces Neil to grant some selfish or absurd wishes, such as giving all native English people huge ears and duck feet, while threatening to shoot Dennis. In the meantime, Catherine looks for Neil in his apartment, but instead encounters Ray, who is hiding in a closet from Miss Pringle's pursuit. Just at the right time, they manage to arrive at Grant's house and immediately rescue Neil, who is able to reverse all of Grant's wishes, including Miss Pringle's now violently fanatical worship of Ray, who was close to being ritually killed by her and the cult she created beforehand. Still, Catherine and Ray decide to leave him alone because they are already disappointed in him. Soon, Catherine angrily tells Neil that she will never be able to love anyone who has the superpowers to control anything. Disheartened, he suddenly has the idea of using his powers to solve the world's problems. At first, he grants everyone in the world as much food as they want, then says that wars shouldn't happen for any reason. Lastly, grants every person their own dream house and wishes for the reversion of global warming. Nevertheless, this backfires when worldwide obesity flares, all land is taken over for houses, several countries declare war for no reason, and the planet falls into a global ice age. Because of it, Neil reverses all these wishes. Feeling depressed with his personal life and futile attempts to make the world a better place, he attempts suicide. But as he jumps into the river, Dennis also jumps in. Consequently, Neil is forced to rescue the dog, including himself. Afterwards, Dennis suddenly says that Neil should give the power to him, as he never thinks of anything selfish. He eventually agrees and does it. Meanwhile, the aliens decide that Earth is not worthy. It turns out that the Galactic Council has a different morality than humans. They see dominance as good and weakness as evil. With Neil constantly trying to end wars and make other people's lives better is a sign of weakness. They decide to destroy Earth using the Doom weapon, but at the same time Dennis wishes that the source of power be destroyed, causing the Doom weapon to bounce back to the alien ship, killing them all. With no power left but full of confidence, the next morning Neil asks Catherine out on a date, which she agrees to. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.